Okay, everybody, here we go. And I mean, here we go. Are you paying attention to what's going on this morning? I believe most of you are who follow this blog, and I don't think you're surprised at all. Let's get going with this. So this is Tuesday, August 8th, 2023. Let me just read something to you. Are you ready for this? Moody's cut the credit ratings of a host of U.S. banks late Monday and placed several Wall Street big names on negative review. The rating agency cut the ratings of 10 U.S. banks one rung, while major lenders Bank of New York Mellon, U.S. Bank Corp., State Street, Truist Financial, Frost Bankers, and North Trust are now under review for a potential downgrade. Moody's also changed its outlook to negative for 11 more banks, including Capital One, Citizens Financial, and Fifth Third Bancorp. Among the smaller lenders receiving an official downgrade were M&T Bank, Pinnacle Financial, BOK Financial, and Webster Financial. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. And let me just say this as well. You and I, from a year ago, knew how this was going to unfold. Look at the video that I did just yesterday, post-market report. I explained yet again. This thing is going to get extremely ugly. Massive outflows from major banks, hundreds of billions of dollars. This is going to unwind very badly. And we're going to need to keep our eyes on this, people. Again, what am I going to tell you? Do not keep any cash that you don't have to in these institutions, because there's going to be a major problem coming down the pike. And again, what have we not even spoke about yet? The commercial real estate exposure here. These banks, some of these big banks, are going down. I don't know another way to put this. Another financial crisis is right around the corner of epic proportions. You think this is by accident? Of course not. All of this is coming together as central banks around the world are preparing to roll out a new system, a new set of rules, a new paradigm. You've known about this for about a decade. So on the back of this banking downgrade, the market is getting rattled. Stock futures are down pretty significantly right now across the board, pointing towards a lower open. Despite the fact that the 10-year yield is now lower than 4%, the relative strength of the dollar did kick higher. That is a fear trade. A fear trade, again, on the back of this banking sector downgrade. I want to know how many of you at all are surprised. Is it even one? Even one of you surprised who follow this blog to see what's going on here? I don't think there's not even one of you that are surprised. I mean, what do I always tell you? Be prepared for anything, and you and I have spoken about this before anybody else. Remember, no deposits are disappearing, no loans, no deals, an economy in free fall. What else would you expect in this kind of an environment? All the major banks right now, Citigroup, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, are all down pre-market. But of course, the cavalry may arrive today. I would not be surprised to see, well, the Federal Reserve obviously start buying banks here to prop up the system. You have to understand a couple of things, and I know you do already. What is the lifeblood of this market? It's crude oil. We all know that. These major institutions that just got downgraded here and pretty much are going to start lower across the board, they are leveraged beyond their eyeballs in crude oil. So don't be surprised to see energy, crude oil starting to get bid up. This, of course, would put a little fire underneath the banks. You know how this works. You know this better than anybody, how this works. Let's touch on a couple of other things we got. So Bitcoin, crypto is getting bid higher this morning, pre-market. Trading didn't start for about an hour and a half-ish from the time I am doing this. Gold and silver are under some pressure right now, and that's because the relative strength in the dollar knee-jerk kick higher on fear. because of what just happened with the banks getting downgraded here. But what does that mean for you and I? What are we going to do? Are we going to change anything? No. You see, you and I are on the easiest path that you can possibly imagine. We're betting against the debt, becoming our own central bank, being prepared for anything that they want to throw at us, and something big is going to happen here. You can count on that. Again, it's the way the system functions. Crisis to crisis to crisis. Nothing can function smoothly anymore. It's an economy that only can function from crisis to crisis to crisis. And every single crisis has one common theme. Do you know what that common theme is? Exactly. A need to borrow more cash, pull more cash into the now. This crisis to crisis to crisis mechanism is deliberate. You all know that. This is how the system functions. This is how central banks are becoming more so empowered than ever before, and central banks are in control. Are the central banks going to allow the financial system itself to melt down? I think there's a very strong possibility that they will by design. Again, we are going to face a moment here. Clearly, look, what do we got? What do we know is going on? It comes down to what we know, right? We have a debt market, a global debt market hyper bubble, which is a Frankenstein monster. It's engulfing the earth. What do we know is going to happen? That hyper bubble in debt is going to continue to expand until it doesn't. You know that already. And what happens when it doesn't? An implosion in the debt market crushes world stock markets, cash moves into commodities, and also, I believe, cryptocurrencies. So this has been our plan, if you've been with me for any length of time, to be on the opposite side of that, for thinking what's going to happen down the line. With regard to the price of cryptos, Bitcoin more specifically, gold and silver, and even commodities in aggregate, they're going to stay in a trading range for a while until the inevitable implosion in the debt market, which is going to occur. Now, could a financial banking crisis cause this to happen? Abso-freaking-lutely it could. But again, what is it going to lead to? A merger, a consolidation. That's what this is all about. And you knew about this a year ago. Again, no deposits, no loans, no deals. You and I knew that this crisis wasn't over. Meanwhile, have you heard a peep about it from the mainstream propaganda? Has CNBC, Bloomberg, Fox Business at all, have they been telling you that this smaller and regional bank escapade is gone? No. They haven't told you. They've been trying to convince you that everything is fine. But the fact of the matter is, nothing is fine. And all this is a consolidation of power. And with regard to these downgrades here that we just got, with more to come, it's going to lead to more bank failures, and major institutions are also going down. Major institutions are going down only to be consolidated. It's all about power. Putting power in less and less and less institutions. You understand? I think you do. And this is all about control. So be ready for anything. Again, be ready for another scamdemic. Be ready for some kind of another false flag. It's going to occur. It must occur. Again, crisis to crisis to crisis. That's the only way we can function now in this kind of an environment, and it's the only way it's going to go. So I want to hear from you. What do you think about all this? So are you surprised, especially? Do you think it's a coincidence, honestly, that I did that video last night where I explained to you that the banks are in trouble yet again and the troubles are getting worse, and then just this morning we find this out? I had no idea that was going on. It's just obvious to me, and it's probably to you too, realizing where they're going. We know the plan. If we know their plan, what they want to do, and I'm talking about central banks here, okay, a consolidation of the system, a consolidation of power, a wiping out of an entire class of people, new two-tier society, a neo-feudal system. None of this should surprise you at all. So just, we're going to stay on top of this, people. And I always tell you, being that you and I, as clear as day, understand where we're going, how central banks are now the lenders and buyers of last resort. They're buying it all. They're consolidating their power. That gives us enormous strength because you and I know what they're doing. So that gives us an opportunity to take advantage of it. You understand? I think it's pretty straightforward here. All right, people, that's pretty much it. A lot going on today. This is humongous with regard to this downgrade, with more downgrades coming. Count on it, okay? So don't be surprised when you hear about it. I will see all of you 4:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Have some questions ready for me. We'll address that then. Please, people, if you got anything out of this video, I would appreciate a thumbs up. Those thumbs up get the video seen. The more thumbs up the video gets, the more YouTube will show these videos. Let's wake some people up. Sometimes they need, a little backhand across the face. I think that's probably true for most. All right, look, love you a lot from the heart, and I will see you later.